Hey guys, this is Doug May with That Audio Guy. In this video, we're going to take a look at the filter section on the layer page. What is a filter? In the real world, when we hear sound, what we're hearing is a combination of a wide range of frequencies. When I open this spectrum analyzer and play a chord on the keyboard, you can see that this sound is made up of basically the entire audible spectrum. Now what a filter does is it allows us to cut out some of those frequencies in a tasteful way. Probably the most common type of filter is what's called a low-pass filter. What a low-pass filter does is it filters out some of the higher frequencies, letting the lower frequencies pass through. Let me show you what that sounds like. Another common type of filter is what's called a high-pass filter, and you can probably imagine what that sounds like. And then there's also what's called a bandpass filter, which is basically a combination of the two, and it sounds like this. Sometimes with filters, what you'll see is a number next to them, like this. What that number refers to is the slope of the filter cutoff. The bigger the number, the steeper the slope. Let me show you what that looks like. The slope of the cutoff gets steeper and steeper, which cuts out more of those higher frequencies. Omnisphere's filter works in the exact same way that I was just showing you with that EQ plugin. You can toggle the filter on and off with this button right here. If you click this drop down tab right here, it'll open up a menu, and then there's sub-menus where you can go through and pick one of the filter presets that are included in Omnisphere. Probably the most used filter is the low pass filter, so I'm just going to pick this basic 12 dB low pass filter. Now that I've got the low pass filter loaded in, I can use this cutoff knob to determine the point of cutoff in the frequency range. What this resonance knob here does is it puts an emphasis at the point of cutoff. Let me show you what I mean by opening this analyzer. If this is the point of cutoff right here, the resonance basically turns the volume up at this point right here. It looks something like this. This is what it sounds like in Omnisphere. What this key mapping feature does in Omnisphere is it basically takes your keyboard and splits it into two different ranges, a higher range and a lower range. The default point of splitting is middle C on your keyboard. What this key mapping knob does when it's turned all the way up is basically when I play any note below middle C, it takes the filter and closes it a little bit at the point of cutoff. And when I play a note above middle C, it takes the filter and opens it a little bit at the point of cutoff. Let me show you what that looks like with the spectrum analyzer. When I play a chord below middle C, what it's doing is it's taking that cutoff and closing it a little bit. And then when I play above middle C, it'll open it a little bit. Let me show you what that sounds like in Omnisphere. So when I play below middle C, the filter closes a bit. And when I play above middle C, it opens a little bit. It sounds more open. If you click on this key icon, it actually inverts that. So now when I play above middle C, it closes the filter. And when I play below middle C, it opens the filter. It sounds like this. Can you hear how it's a little bit muffled in the higher region? And then it's open in the lower region. This envelope function is a little bit similar to the key mapping function, only instead of using ranges on the keyboard, it actually uses this filter envelope down here. Now if you don't know what an envelope is, don't worry. That's actually the topic for the next video. But let me show you how it works now, and then when you get to the envelopes later, you'll understand a little bit better. What's happening is the synthesizer is using these attack, decay, sustain, and release settings to tell the filter how to open when I play keys. It sounds a little bit like this. And I can have a slower attack. It takes a little bit longer to open up that filter. And an even slower attack. You can hear it opening up that filter really slowly. If I click the envelope icon right here, it reverses that. Now it's going to tell the filter how to close when I play keys on the keyboard. You can hear the filter closing down like that. This gain slider allows me to control the volume output. Because the filter in Omnisphere works on both channels, the left and right, there's a really cool effect that can happen. What happens with this variant slider is the filter will open in one channel and close in the other, and you can kind of control that. It gives a really cool panning effect. Let's listen to how that sounds. You can hear it opening in one channel and closing in the other. as you move from side to side. It's a really cool panning effect. If we click this magnifying glass icon, it'll open up a new window with more information. Omnisphere is actually capable of running 2 filters at the same time. We have filter 1 right here on the left side, and filter 2 right here on the right side. These controls in the middle are exactly identical to the controls that we saw when we weren't in the zoom window. If I make a change to one of these, it will correspond to a change when I zoom in on these. When in series mode, what's going to happen is the signal will run through filter 1 first, and then filter 2, and then to the output. If it's in parallel, the signal is going to run through filter 1 and filter 2 simultaneously, and then through the output. This mix slider lets you choose how much of which filter you want in the mix. And then again, we have this gain slider, which is identical to the one on the other page. When this pre-tab is selected, the gain control is going to be applied before the filters. When this post-tab is selected, the gain control is going to be applied after the filters. These buttons right here above the key knob let us select the note which will serve as the splitting point between the higher range on the keyboard and the lower range. When it's in the middle right here, it's middle C, and as we move, it actually moves 2 octaves. So here we have 1 octave above middle C, and here we have 2 octaves above middle C. Because these parameters here control both filters, what you can do is use these offset sliders in order to control just these filters specifically. That's it for the filter section, guys. Make sure to check out the next video where we'll talk about the envelope section.